across the morning sky, feel what's on the wind. Find the perfect water and hope the day won't end. Tune into the outside from the inside once again. Listen to the thunder and watch an eagle soar. We call it living inside the great outdoors.
Good morning. This is Joe Castaway Coolis. Yes, I'm still around. And you're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on a chilly morning. Boy, the grass got a heavy frost on it and because of the rain and cold. But we're going to be here next 3 hours. And also here,
Dr. Norm. I'm getting stuff ready for the boys here.
yeah.
Oh, this looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, we got, what do you call this thing we're eating? French something.
Breakfast?
Huh?
I call it a blueberry cheese pastry.
Oh, pastry.
Or strawberry.
I got strawberry.
I got blueberry.
And Doc's got blueberry, and Carl's got blueberry.
Carl's got blueberry.
And
Lenny's got strawberry.
Oh, and
Carl Bachtel, Big Daddy, in the house
with his Cleveland Brown shirt.
with my blueberry pastry
Thingamajigger.
bakery pastry.
Yeah. And
Smells
how was the Maps show, sports show?
Very nice.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it was.
It's always nice, you know?
It's a nice
show.
smaller show,
Yeah.
but it's got a really friendly feel to
Yeah, yeah. Those smaller
what I mean?
shows are like that.
So yeah, it was. We were very crowded at the outset, and then it sort of slacked off towards the afternoon. But good turnout at the crappie fishing seminar with several listeners that have that grace our show
Always.
every weekend.
Yeah.
And Brian Rambowski was there.
Oh.
What's his name? Dell was there.
Oh, good.
And let's see, Al was there, and Al was funny. He said his mother listens and loves the show. And at a previous seminar, he took a picture of me, and he had me autograph it and sign it to his mother.
Oh, that was nice.
So good morning, Ray, if you're listening. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. And I hope you can read my chicken scratch.
It doesn't matter. They don't have to read as long as it has that, just the look of, okay, that's who it is. And you know who it is. That's the main thing. But it's even like, I have like some of the nuns at the nursing home, Sister Marianne, Sister Helen, and Sister Anita, we have a lot of listeners, and they really enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's, we're doing something right, and they just like, the group, they
I
like
don't know about that.
Well, speak for yourself. But they like the group and what everybody has to contribute.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's good. So we're doing something right. I just don't know why sponsors don't get it, but I don't know.
Well, that's the way the system is.
Yeah, they deal with, they got to have numbers, and they deal with firms, and those firms could care less about, you know.
Everything's
all about
corporate now, you know?
Yeah, and they got to do it. Yeah. And they got to do it, get one thing where they get the whole bunch, you know, where it's not, you know. But there's got to be some listeners that own companies.
We have some good sponsors.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, yeah. We're, thank goodness.
You know,
we really
the
do.
Northfield Fireplaces and the Mogador Bait and Tackles and the
Dion's
and, you know, those
We have a
folks
lot of small businesses that are really good, you know.
that take a plunge, a leap of faith.
Right.
To put
and then they realize.
And then they see it.
Yeah.
And that's
Great.
the thing. That's what I always tell people.
Great Lakes, too.
Oh, yeah.
And call them and ask them, hey, how's the Inside the Great Outdoors thing work? Well, they talk about us on Sunday, and then people show up.
And like you, just exactly like you said, we have a lot of women listeners, and they're the ones that are shopping. So,
the guys shop too.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I see a lot of guys at Dion's, going and getting eggs.
No, but what I meant is they think, it's an outdoor show, it's only guys. Yeah,
No.
no, there's a lot of women listeners.
Well, that's what I try and explain to people, that even though it is an outdoor-based
Right.
discussion,
It's very,
everybody needs somebody to change their oil. Everybody needs somebody, if they don't get around, they could mow their lawn. A landscape company.
Sure, that's a good one. That's a good one.
We have the meat market, which with Dion's, we have a bait and tackle, and I know that's a very difficult business.
Very,
especially these days. You want to talk about corporate, everything's become corporatized in that world too. So the small little tackle shops, I always tell them if there was a group of 3 or 4 small, independently owned tackle shops,
right, spread apart,
that got together and said, "Hey, let's buy an ad as a group,
right,
and share it," and it would be a lot more cost effective. You'd get your business on the air and get some people but people just don't. It's like the charter captain.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on the best walleye smallmouth fishery in the world, but charter captains, they feel we don't need to buy an ad. It's all word of mouth. We're book solid every year. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's about the show.
But there's also a lot of people that come from out of town, and now that we're on the national network, so it's going everywhere around the country. So it's and those are included. But the it's odd that I think they hear a lot of commercials, but those are the station's commercials. So they think we have all these other ones, but we don't, unfortunately. So that's the other. But We're training Hamden.
Uh-oh.
We're training him. Finally, after all these years, he's finally got the message.
Oh, jeez.
Good morning.
I am so beyond help. It's not funny.
Well,
okay.
We know that, but.
And I'm listening as and this is kind of regrettable because I'm used to the valley of the shadow of the eternal hold. And this was kind of quick, and I kind of was telling Lenny we're going to get the stupid out of the way on the show by having me phone in, and that can pave the way for other multi-intellectual, intelligent callers to invade the premises after I've bombed them with my comments. And, I was thinking, number one, quick serious. Yash, you used to have a setup for advertisers, different package deals at different cost levels. Mm-hmm. Do you have a modern new update thing that, Digital Carl could send me if I give my email to the engineer or on the site, just so I've got it? Mm-hmm. Because when I talk to people about just what Carl was saying about this, that, the other thing. And what do you
hear in response?
Well, I haven't done it lately.
Okay.
Last one was poor old Pops Denny down at in Manaway there. He had sold the butcher business, and you're up to your eyeballs in great butchers. Yeah. But that changed in Manaway. But that was the last time I talked with somebody. But I've got some ideas and I've got some thoughts to approach. And one of the ones I'm going to do is try to pick up a corporate sponsor. With the way things go with the food on this show, I will be approaching the manufacturers of Beano and Gas-X and work a angle for the hometown commercial made locally. And I think we can do something with that, reflecting Good Nose Joe Keogh's menu choices, and then some of the gut shellacking recipes you guys talk about and come up with that you make, I see a vector here for revenue enhancement. But all that aside, good morning, and thank you for taking the call. You'll be on the Shrink's Couch, all of you, wondering why you took the call. Deep analysis will help.
Question. So with this wind we had, there was that one street that it just took down the whole line of telephone poles.
Yeah, that was a cascade failure.
Mm-hmm.
So how does something like that happen, that it takes the whole bunch down?
It's structural in nature, physical. If you look at it, sometimes in the past, what we had found when I was still active in the position, there were varying quality of poles. Okay, some of them, for whatever reason, if it was treatment, a neglected species pick, they buy fir, they buy, southern yellow pine, they buy this.
Yeah.
But you would have some that would do shell rot, the rings, how a tree grows.
Sure, sure.
Well, the outer shell would delaminate and start peeling off the pole.
I know the one guy said the one pole by his house was banana shaped, and they said they couldn't do nothing.
Yep.
So were there multiple poles that were bad?
Just looking at that, I'd seen it before. They were older poles. They supposedly have some contract inspector team that looks at them for conditions and even tries to do subterranean and just above grade preservation techniques, to keep the lifespan going. Okay. That looked like a cascade failure. You know how a dry rot can set up in a piece of wood?
Yeah.
And you will get that. You can get shell rot, mush butt, we used to call it, where it actually rots in the ground for whatever reason. Okay?
Yeah.
And a combination of mush butt, the pole butt that's in the ground, 5 to 7 feet. And then what happens is it waits, and then you get some type of straight line wind or whatever, or even a car into a pole hit and shake the circuit, shake the line, okay? Mm-hmm. And because you've got leverage at the top, acting just like a pry bar, what happens is one will snap, the load goes. It's just like a truss failure in a structure fire.
So it was like cascading, not just all of them at once.
Right,
right. Okay.
And that's how it happens. The wire weight, the wind, you start shearing, and then you're adding stress to the next one. You're multiplying that stress factor to break it. And then it finally stops at a point where a pole's not in that condition. So, it's like anything else. It's a tough thing putting wood in the ground.
Yeah, because it was odd to see that.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. It was like 6 or 8 poles in a row laying down.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And again, picture it. I'm failing.
Yeah.
I'm transmitting that fail force ahead of me.
So it wasn't
and
all at one time. It was one, and then of course when one goes, that puts a lot of stress on the next one, and just down the line. So okay, but I don't remember
it's
seeing
like
that much.
Oh yeah, it's like a domino effect, a cascade failure, we would call it. So there you go. And of course, this had nothing to do with ducks, bear, or deer.
That's okay, but it's information.
We solved it.
I'm sure if I was understood, there's at least one other person that was. So
Speaking of poles, speaking of poles, in genetics, I had some uncles that happened to a bunch of uncles,
Yes.
Oh,
it's like you got 2 legs, 1 bad knee. Once we start keeling over, now we multiply the stress to the other good leg, good knee, and then down the stairs we go.
There you go.
Yes. And then they got to fish you out of the basement and ask you silly questions on the way to the hospital.
Yeah.
This is how we go. Now, just before I get pry barred out the door, because that's how we get rid of me, when I am asked about an image of this show, I instantaneously, and this is serious now, I go to the fire ring at Castaway, and I got a nice fire going, and I got the folding chairs, the portable jobs around it, and darn good conversations, good people, okay? That's the image, to me, this show is always projected. Mm-hmm. Again, everything's in phases. Sponsors, costs, talent on the show, which you guys have held steady. Everything's in phases. So you're going to ebb and flow sometimes on sponsorship. When times are daft, the biggest complaint in any industry has been people cut advertising. And it's as if they cut their own legs out from beneath them.
That's a
because at a time, you need to broadcast who and what you are to keep things fertile. You're pulling back.
Right.
And I get it. But Carl struck a good note. And then Dr. Norm, I just always picture him trying to put me down. As the vet, he gets confused about who and what I am, and he's trying to give me the 2-part shot to drop me. So that's a service, even though he's retired. Yeah. We're going to look at that as
whenever you need help, just call me.
Right, okay. Okay, I'll put you back.
I don't think you're ready. Hey, don't we have to go sell something?
Yes,
speaking of advertising, all right. I'm going to issue a formal toodle.
Okay,
and you take care and keep it rocking.
You got it. All righty,
toodles.
We'll see you, Bob.
Yep, multi toodles. Yay!
Yes, take a break and we'll be back.
Bye.
Ali. He knows how to talk and he knows how to fight.
Whether you're a novice or a well-seasoned angler, if you want that extra edge in catching more fish, you want one of the many species of Kodiak scent. Made from real bait fish, Kodiak fishing scents are made from pure freeze-dried bait. Freeze-drying enhances the scent considerably, making it the most potent fishing scent available to the fishermen today. It comes in many flavors, including shad, crayfish, salmon egg, and the most popular, minnow. Add the paste to your lures, it really sticks. And when a fish hits, it doesn't let go. And if you use tube jigs, try the tube injector. This handy syringe is made especially to be inserted into a tube jig. Kodiak fishing scents are now available online at Castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com. If you want to catch fish, you want Kodiak from Coulis.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors on a nice Sunday morning. It looks like it's going to be a nice day. A little chilly, but cold this week. But then next week supposed to warm up. Hopefully.
This morning,
Very. The grass had that crystal look to it.
23 degrees out by me.
23. Man, I didn't expect that. Geez, 70 then 23.
A little chilly.
Yeah, let's get to the phone lines. Good morning, Bob.
Hey there, guys. This is Dr. Bob from Parma.
How's it
Bob.
going?
Hi, Bob.
Hey, in my endless quest to eradicate optical rectilitis, I got a couple FDA-approved ditties for you this morning.
Okay.
I don't think the FDA talks to the FCC, and with Musk on his march through D.C. like Sherman to the sea, they probably don't talk to each other anyway. So I think the coast is clear.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Remember, there are nuns listening.
Right. Well, anyway, I heard this story about a tough old cowboy from Texas that counseled his granddaughter one day that if she wanted to live a long and healthy life, that the secret to that was that she should put a pinch of gunpowder on her oatmeal every morning. The granddaughter did this very religiously until she died at the age of 103. Well, when she died, she left behind 14 children, 30 grandchildren, 45 great-great-grandchildren, and 25 great-great-great-grandchildren, and a 40-foot hole where the crematorium used to be. That kind of reminds me of that old saw. What's the difference between a pub and an elephant with flatulence? One is a bar room, and the other one goes baroom.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh, you're something else there, Bob.
And I got another one here. This guy enters a local pub by the back door. He sits down, pulls a little piano and piano player out of his pocket. He puts him down on the bar.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
And orders a drink while the little musician starts to play. And the bartender brings him his whiskey and then says, I don't mean to pry, but where'd you get a little miniature piano with a little piano player? And the guy says, well, I got it from a genie. And he kind of looks at the guy longingly, and he says, he's out back if you really want to catch him quick. So not one to squander a great opportunity, the bartender rushes out the back door and is gone for a little while. But soon he reappears, followed by an endless stream of ducks. Before long, the pub is just inundated with ducks, quacking ducks and feathers everywhere. And the exasperated bartender loudly complains to the patron at the bar. He says, you didn't tell me that genie was deaf. I asked for $1 million, not 1 million ducks. And the guy at the bar replied sheepishly, well, you didn't think I asked for an 11-inch pianist, did you?
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well.
You're fired. 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 You're fired.
Okay. All righty.
If any of you have any problems, just give me a call.
Okay.
Because I'll sing for you. And when you hear how I sing, you'll probably realize your problems aren't
as bad as yours.
Yeah.
All righty.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, Bob.
We'll see
Bye-bye.
you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
I went
dueling Bobs in the morning now.
Yeah. I had to go to get my Botox for the blepharospasm.
Yeah, wow, he said it.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! I crossed myself. For all you nuns out there,
So I went and we were talking about modern technology and stuff, and
just think how far we've come in the last 120 years. Mankind. Can you believe how far we've come?
Yeah.
And just think how far we're going to come with this AI.
Well, here's real quickly. What's
I
this?
I think that we're sort of outrunning our coverage, so to speak.
I think
with
we are.
technology.
We are.
Yeah.
Humanity is not ready for the things that it's producing.
Can you imagine?
You know what's going to kill us? What's going to kill mankind? Humanity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Humanity.
Can you imagine in about 50 years? I mean, they'll be going to Mars like nothing. But here was the interesting thing with the AI stuff and people that are blind. There's this new company or something that's working where they believe they're going to be able to cure blindness.
Yeah.
And so we were talking because she said it's just really the optical nerve. It's a nerve that does it. It's not like physical, something. But here's the thing I thought about when I heard that. People that had sight and lost it, they're like, oh man, I wish it would come back. But can you imagine people that are born and they never saw, and then all of a sudden they did something and they could see? Probably the same thing with hearing too. Can you imagine Can you imagine what that would be like for those people to, be able to hear, to see or hear where they couldn't? That's like mind-boggling.
I know exactly what they would say if they ever cured blindness.
What would they say?
I never saw that coming.
But can you imagine that? To just keep your eyes closed.
Well,
and then
I'll tell you, they're a step away from that as long as that optic nerve is present.
Oh.
The optic nerve has to be present, though.
Could it not be present?
Sure.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. I think that optic nerve, at least at the point they are right now, has to be present to allow that.
But can you imagine what that would be like wow, for those people, you feel so.
They're not that far away from that
yeah.
because they can genetically figure that out.
Yeah, well,
you
with
know?
AI, it can figure it out pretty quick and stuff. So,
Yeah, they're pretty close even without the AI right now.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Boy, that would be wonderful. Man, that would be nice. But for I just
About
can't.
10 years away, I would estimate.
Yeah, but like you say, can you?
From at least what I've read. You know?
Yeah, but that was interesting when we were talking about that. I thought, wow, if they could do that, that would be, whoo. But yeah, this with what's happening with the rockets and everything. That was the other interesting thing. So that rocket comes back to bring. They went up to get the astronauts, and it's coming and it's falling, and you're looking and thinking, uh-oh, and it's going down, and then man, all of a sudden the jets go and it just stops almost, lands, legs come out. That was amazing.
You know what I thought the neatest thing of that whole thing was? They come down in that module in the ocean. And what's around them? A bunch of dolphins.
Exactly.
That's what I thought.
That
Here's
was
nature.
Yes. When I
Here's
saw
that was the neatest thing.
Right.
I thought of that whole thing,
Yes.
you know.
But when you
But
first
that's
of
me.
all, they knew within 1 minute when it would land. That was pretty amazing. But to see the blue sky and then all the parachutes go up at one time, but it was going 17,000 miles an hour, and then it goes down to 17, but the temperature on that going through with that speed is 3,500 degrees. And they said if something would go wrong, it would just disappear. It would incinerate. Yeah. 3,500 degrees, and they built something that could handle that. That's what's amazing. What material can handle that heat?
Ceramics.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Ceramics? Man, well, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, because they fired, the things in the oven when they make that stuff. But it was just so neat to see, and with the beautiful day, and the ocean was flat,
And those dolphins come out.
and the dolphins. Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that neat?
something
That was so neat.
It was. I really enjoyed seeing that. But with the blue sky, it was so perfect, video with the color and everything. And they knew where it was going to land. They were there within a little bit. And but the other thing is how that lady aged, from being in space so long. The lady astronaut. They show her picture, and she's going to have the hardest. They don't show the other guys.
Well, their muscles atrophy.
Yes.
That's what happens.
Yes.
Their muscles atrophy.
Yeah, which is, but that was really neat to see.
She'll be back to.
Oh yeah, it just takes time, a lot of time. But yeah, you're right. The dolphins playing around, thinking, "Okay, welcome you back."
Howdy.
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
When did you get back from space?
Long time ago.
You've aged.
No, look at how good Joe. After he gets that,
Yeah, he gets
bow
his
tie,
shots.
Now, on a serious
you
note,
look a heck of a lot better.
He looks
on a serious
He
note,
doesn't look a day
is there
over
a difference?
78.
No,
What? There's no difference?
there is a difference.
There is. You see a difference.
Oh yeah.
Really?
You don't have any wrinkles or anything.
It's
You
that
look-
noticeable.
It's noticeable.
Is it? Because, I look in the mirror and I didn't notice it.
Well,
so it is.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's
Yeah,
the fairest
yeah.
of them all?
Yeah, that's
You
interesting.
ought to go look
But-
at that. What's that movie that's out right now? Snow White.
Oh, Snow White. Yeah, but the
Hi-ho.
Hi-ho.
yeah, but it is interesting
You ought to get
because
some of the. You need some.
I cannot believe that they made a CGI Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Why do
I
they
will-
have to?
I-
do
and they
that?
said it.
The commercial comes on and I turn it off immediately.
They said-
I'd still watch that.
It cost so much to make it, then they're not making it back. Millions to make it, and it's flopping. So,
It's
but okay, we got a giveaway coming up.
We
We're
do.
gonna- We're going to hear about bicycles
Oh,
that we could ride in the woods.
well, they're not bicycles. They're
What?
electric bikes.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, that can't imagine going
Yeah,
to the woods.
talk about technology.
Yeah, so we've got the
How far have we?
Phil and Keith on the line. So when we come back in, we're going to give away some
125 years.
bike rentals and stuff. So we're taking a short break. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. And if you have any questions, comments, 216-901-0945. Take a break, and we'll be back on the other side.
But if you enjoy remembering when you were my best friend.
If you troll for walleye, steelhead, or even salmon, you need to check out Castaway's Magnetic Divers. The release is magnetic, so if it trips accidentally, no need to retrieve it. Simply give the line slack, it sinks and resets itself automatically. When fishing is slow, trip the diver when trolling. It will come up through the water column and very often trigger a strike because you are now covering different depths. It can be set to go off to the right, left, or straight behind the boat. It comes in 3 sizes and different colors. Why not try one today? You can order them online at castaway.com. That's castaway.com with a K. You will not only improve your fishing success, but will make trolling fun again because of no more retrieving after a false release. That's Castaway's Magnetic Diver at www.castaway.com with a K.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want
Welcome
to
back.
ride my
Listening to Inside the Great Outdoors. And on the line, let's see, we got 1 up, we got 2 up, and okay. So good morning, guys, Keith and Phil.
Good morning, Joe. How are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing great.
Good, good. So tell us about what your new endeavor, somewhat new endeavor that's going on with the new world of being able to ride bicycles that you don't have to worry about pedaling.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for having us on the show, and thank you for visiting us at the outdoor show recently in Summit County.
Yeah, it was nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, and appreciate the interest you have in the electric bikes and the new electric bike line that we brought on, that were designed and built by hunter, fishermen, and outdoorsmen for hunters, fishermen, and outdoorsmen.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your interest in that and bringing us on.
Some cool stuff. Well, we were just talking modern technology. It keeps advancing. So as far as for the hunter, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'll defer to Keith now to start things off.
Okay, Keith, how are you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing well. How about you?
Wonderful.
Excellent. So, again, as Phil was saying, we appreciate your interest in this. I started Pedego Electric Bikes as a dealership back in, well, it's been, 6 years now. This is our 6th summer.
Wow.
And working with this particular bike manufacturer called Pedego. They're based in California and had been building bikes since 2008, which I thought was good. So when we went through our due diligence, we were real happy with the brand and the fact
that's a long time.
Yeah, and they offer people a 5-year warranty, which is unheard of, and they cover the battery, Joe, which is just mind blowing because the battery systems on these things, they're great batteries.
How long do they last?
Well, I mean, with the Pedego bikes, I've seen people come in with 10, 11-year-old bikes still on their first battery.
Wow.
Frankly, yeah, but they guarantee them for 5.
Okay, and how long do they last for a charge?
For a ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have options there. most of the bikes come with a battery that'll go 20 miles to 40 miles, depending on whether you're pedaling the bike or whether you're just using the twist throttle and riding without pedals.
Okay.
And then you have an option for an upgrade. Some of them, the upgrade is 30 to 60 miles, but others of our bikes, our premium bikes, you can get a battery that'll do up to 75 miles on a single charge.
And that is determined if you're going uphill or downhill. I mean, it uses up more going uphill, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be, the weight of the rider.
Okay.
If you're like you and me and Carl and Phil, when we had to go to school and walk uphill both ways, in the snow.
In the summer.
No, it's just like a car.
Okay.
Those are the estimates. Those are the estimates, and some people do really, really well. Other people, but like I said, the bottom of the range is really for those that are just going to use the twist throttle and ride it like a moped, not actually pedal.
Okay. Yeah.
But lately, we brought on a second brand that Phil and I got really excited about when we were up in Chicago at our annual conference called CABDA. And the bike is called, the bike manufacturer is called Rambo. And the bikes they build are all built for hunters and fishermen that are, out in the field. They're not, because the Pedego bikes, honestly, are mainly pleasure bikes. So, you want to ride on a bike trail someplace.
Yeah.
Or you want to ride.
Like our great park system.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to do that, those bikes are terrific for that. But if you're a hunter and you're out in a farm field somewhere, you kind of need some specialty, just some specialty equipment, to use an e-bike as opposed to maybe a four-wheeler or something like that. So, first of all, what they did on several of their bike models. So if you think of a car manufacturer and then all the different models of car and truck that they have.
Yeah.
So Rambo's kind of the same thing. Rambo's the manufacturer, but they have different models. So some of these bikes have what we call dual motor. So they got a motor on the front wheel and they got a motor on the back wheel.
Wow.
And that's unusual. Okay. Yeah. But the idea is that, there are going to be situations where you want to switch and use maybe front wheel drive. There's situations where you'll push a switch. You want to ride rear wheel drive. Okay. And then there's going to be situations where you need both, right? And you can run all wheel drive.
Wow.
The other stuff that was very exciting, I thought, about these bikes was the accessories that you can purchase along with the bike. So, for instance, they have equipment for carrying your rifle, carrying your bow, a couple different trailer options. One for being able to pull a deer out of the woods. Another one for the ability to take a kayak and pull a kayak behind you. And we've even seen pictures of people, because it's the weirdest thing. You can literally buy studded snow tires for these bikes. Okay. Wow. So we've seen guys that are ice fishermen that actually ride them out on their bikes.
What a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does a bike like that weigh?
They're still weigh 50 to 70 pounds. They're not light bikes. Yeah. What I teach customers all the time is, look, you gotta take a standard bike, okay, frame wise as far as the weight of it. Now it's not a standard bike because they have to beef it up because of the sport. But the bottom line is you put an 8 to 10 pound motor on it. You put an 8 to 10 pound battery on it. Okay, you've already increased a standard bike 35 pounds, up into the 50 pound range.
So then, like for ice fishing, you could tow a sled with all your gear in it.
Well, you could tow your fish house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never thought of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. These bikes are built for rough terrain, all weather.
Yeah.
They're stealthy, they're quiet, and they're powerful. where
Yeah.
you could actually drag a deer out of the woods with it.
Mm-hmm.
This bike is really a different animal when it comes to electric bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you consider, the guys that are using ATVs, you got a gas engine. In a lot of cases, you're looking at a situation where it's noisy. You switch out for an e-bike, and all of a sudden, you're much quieter. I mean, you're not going to hear much of anything.
Yeah, see, and that's good for the deer hunting.
It is going from stand to stand or that type of thing. Absolutely,
kind of hunting or fishing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's an important upgrade.
That's a whole different multi-use where you could use it, not just summertime.
You got me listening now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Sneak up on those fish.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Right? Yeah.
Well,
So,
that is
very cool.
that
Sneak
is
up
true.
on those
'Cause
girls
you
on the
mentioned that,
beach,
Carl, that when you were fishing and there was a lot of noise, the fish quit.
Yeah.
And then when it quieted
Right.
down, they come back.
Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
another
Good idea.
Yeah. Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
I'd like to also mention that down at where our main showroom in Peninsula,
Yeah.
that we rent bikes.
Okay, so
the
tell us
Pedigo
about
bikes
that
we
part.
rent. Pardon me?
So tell us about that part, the rental.
Keith, you're the man. Go
All
ahead.
right. So, isn't it funny how he sets these things up and then I have to answer, Joe?
Sure,
I don't
of
get
course.
that.
Of course.
Sounds
Anyway,
like the show here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, what we do is we started out renting bikes because electric bikes were kind of a new concept in Ohio, and so the idea is that for $25 an hour, you can come down, rent a bike, rent a couple bikes, whatever you like, ride in the Peninsula area, or you could ride one of the parks and get a chance to really try it, because the idea is, kind of try before you buy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's typically what happens. It's not a small investment to do this, and because of that, I think the customers have really, really enjoyed the idea of being able to come in and ride them, and that's
drive.
Not just for 10 minutes or something. They can go out for an hour, and see what it's really like.
Yeah. I'll tell you
we
what.
also
Why don't you
repair
hold on, because we're up against a break, and because we got to announce our contests that we're going to have too. So hang in there. We'll take a short break, and we can get a little more information on the rent. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back.
Goodbye. True love takes a lot of trying.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. We're learning about bicycles, so
lots of bikes.
Okay, so with the rental, explain a little more how that works.
Yeah, so it's a pretty easy process. Like I said, we have a reservation system that you can access via our website. The website's PedigoPeninsula.com. or you can call the store, and we'll put you into the reservation system if that's easier for you.
Well, that's a good idea.
Phone number for the store is
Sure.
is 330-657-4046.
Give it again.
330-657-4046.
Okay.
And one of us will take your reservation right over the phone.
Oh,
for
that's
you.
good. Yeah, that's smart. I never thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense. You don't want to go out there and they're sold out. So, yeah. Good
Yeah,
idea.
that's the thing. I mean, there's always just a finite number of bikes, right?
Sure.
We've got 26 bikes that we rent.
Yeah.
Different models and that type of situation.
Okay.
So anyway, there's that, and then you got to bring your driver's license and pretty typically a credit card. We take cash, but I mean credit cards most typical way people want to pay.
Sure.
Which is fine, and we'll teach you how to ride the bike. You go on out, have a good time, and we always kind of chuckle and watch people come back after first time, and they got what we call the Pedigo grin.
Oh, really?
Big ear-to-ear grin.
Yeah.
Because they've had a real good time.
Oh, that's cool. Good.
Yeah. Do you rent the helmets and everything too? With those.
Yeah,
bikes?
So what I chose to do is that I feel that helmets are an important thing for riding, and so I have helmets available, but I don't charge for them.
Okay.
That's a safety item, and I think it's something that's important for our customer to wear. I can't force them. Ohio law doesn't let me do that, but the reality is I have them, and they're welcome to use them while they're out riding.
Good idea.
That's a good idea. Very good idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We also have a whole line of bicycle accessories available in the store.
Okay. Okay, give that phone number again.
330-657-4046.
Okay. And what we'll do in this next hour, and then again, we're going to have two contests where they're going to get a rental for two people for 2 hours. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
We got two packages. Each package consists of two bikes for two people for 2 hours.
Okay.
So each package is $100 value.
Good. Okay. Yeah, we'll do two of those throughout the show here. So listeners got to stay tuned, and we'll have the seventh caller. We'll come up with something here. So
now, if folks are curious about where you're at in Peninsula, do you have an address that they can stop by and say hi?
Absolutely. The address to the store is 1593 Main Street. Main Street is actually Route 303, but that's what we call it, in our little town.
Yeah.
And parking is mainly street parking at this point. But, come down and see us and check out the bikes, and, we'll spend the time with you and answer every question you have.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys getting up early. And
as the weather gets warmer, it's a great opportunity to go out and enjoy a nice bike ride in the park. And
well, that's it.
And that's
the way to see the park.
And the way it works with e-bikes, you can pedal them like a regular bike.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have the electricity or the charge going the whole time.
And you can get exercise.
And, get some exercise, enjoy yourself, and if you go and you get a little tired or there's a hill that you're having a problem
hills in the
going
park
up,
that I'm sure I've never been in a park over there. Yeah.
Yeah, you should come down and check us out, guys. We'll fix you up. But another thing, Carl, while you're talking about this is we even have a trike. So for folks that have gotten to a point where they're a little bit challenged with their balance. Or
like
they feel they haven't ridden for a long time, I have a 3-wheel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like all of us.
Like all of us. That's a good idea. Cool.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thanks again, guys. I'll be getting those names over to you when I get them later. But
all their contact information. Okay. And we'll send them out a letter.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they could work out the time, give you a call, and work it out. So
right.
Okay.
Well, I put a link on our Facebook page to the Rambo product video that you sent me, Phil. So I put that on the Facebook page, and we'll put the info about the shop on there too.
Good.
So,
yeah. Great.
So people can give you a call and see what's happening in the e-bike world.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
very interesting. It's
Yeah, it was really a good section.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thanks, Phil and Keith. So
Yeah.
keep busy.
And, thank you, Joe. Good talking to you
Okay.
again.
We'll talk to you soon.
And
Thanks, gentlemen.
talk to you soon.
See you
Have
guys.
a great day.
guys.
You too.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, yeah, that was pretty interesting. And I never thought of the ice fishing was really unique.
That's a good idea.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Mhm.
Because that's a lot safer than walking, isn't it, Carl? Wouldn't the distribution
Well, it
of
depends.
weight? Yeah.
It depends.
It'd be
on-
better than a four-wheeler.
It would be better with snow on the ice. If it's just slick ice, it would
Yeah,
be
it'd be
tough.
kinda
Okay,
hard,
that's why
yeah.
you'd need
But,
the studded.
It's yeah,
Yeah,
and even then, it's still
yeah.
it can slip out from under you. But it is a good idea if you have trouble walking,
Yeah.
especially the three-wheel.
Hey, yeah, we're just going to
So-
say the three-wheeler.
The
Yeah.
three-wheeler,
Now that-
or they could put training wheels on that thing.
Sure.
Don't you think, Carl?
They could come up with some
Yeah, they could
accessory.
put up
But the
something.
tri-wheel, that would be the,
The
thing
training
for ice.
or training
yes.
wheels on the
Yeah,
you know, they
and would
put
you-
something on
Some
it.
With
sort of a
sled
stabilizer.
Yeah, some kind of
Huh.
pontoons or
Yeah.
something on it.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know?
Wow.
It's a neat concept because you
Right.
can take the bike itself and then accessorize it,
Yeah.
which
right.
is it's,
Especially
it's
the
like,
one with the two-wheel drives. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like buying a kayak or a four-wheeler, and you can put a tow motor on the front. You
Yeah.
can
All kinds of
Yeah.
all sorts of
accessories, you know?
accessories and attachments and everything else,
Just
and build it the
accessorize
way
the
you
heck
want
out of
it.
it,
I
you
mean,
know?
that's
that's pretty cool.
it's a neat.
Yeah.
They're,
I remember
they're
when-
slick. I'll tell you, they're. I know a couple of guys that have them, and
do you?
and they love them.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh.
and it's when you're in the predicament that I'm in, and you can't pedal like you did when you were
Yeah.
15.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe actually he bought a bike from Fred Flintstone, so with the little.
Well, that's when
Used
he
to
used
push
to
it
go
with his feet.
barefoot, and
Yeah.
he had the loincloth.
When he
you
worked
know?
at the Bronto Burger drive-in, that's the.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had trouble with that
Yeah.
loincloth riding a bike, though. You
Yeah,
know?
that's true. And that huge
A
wheel
lot
in
of
the
chafing
front.
on that.
Yeah, the big wheel in the front.
You
and the little
guys
wheel in
are
the
just
back.
jealous that you haven't been around this long.
That's
what it is. Plain and simple.
No, it was. It's neat technology. It really is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like we talk about the modern technology and how things are changing, and that's definitely one of them. But and the whole thing I think is possible. Number one, with the new batteries. Number one, and those tires. They're not just a regular narrow. I mean, it's a big tire.
The
And that's
snow
what makes
tire.
It, yeah. And
with
let's see,
carbide
we get a
cleats.
caller in here quickly before. So, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
How's
Good
it
morning,
going?
guys.
How's it going?
Hey, I wanted to give a shout out to Keith Lynch. He owns this Northwoods Cabin Company at 87 and 44 in Newberry. He's got this big outdoor showroom. And I've had a property for 50 years, and I always wanted to have a little cabin retreat on it. And, what I've been doing in the meantime is, going to flea markets. I bought a wood stove. I bought all this furniture. But anyway, life kind of got in the way, and family and work, and I never got to build this cabin.
Yeah.
But I visited Keith over there, and I was able to buy a cabin off of him. And he has a flatbed trailer, and he loaded this thing up, and he brought it out to my place, and he snaked it through the woods with these outdoor tow motors he's got.
Wow.
And he kind of made my dream come true after all these years. So
wow.
So if anybody's interested, he's got cabins. He makes chicken coops, pavilions, horse stalls, potting sheds, run-in shelters. He's got all this stuff on display over there. And he's
where
got
is
a lot
it
of
at?
customers, 87 and 44 in Newberry.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, right on 87 before you get to 44.
It's amazing now how they can pre-build these things.
Yeah.
And move them around.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
brought the
it's
one
incredible.
I had at the shop, and I had to move it to the house. And they
Mhm.
got this tow motor that picks it up and wow.
Away it goes, yeah.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he
good.
delivers, all over. Pennsylvania, I guess, is
wow.
a lot
What's
of
the name
customers
the
out in
place?
Pennsylvania.
What's it called?
Northwoods Cabins.
Northwoods Cabins.
Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
cool. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Wants
So
to advertise with us.
that would
give
be a
us
great thing
call,
to get
yeah.
an advertiser.
Oh
that
yeah,
would,
I mean, I think it would be perfect with all the guys that have property Southern Ohio on a little
sure.
hunting cabin or
Everywhere,
something.
Yeah.
Deer camp, yeah.
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 Maybe
Okay.
mention
Well.
it to him when
Yeah,
you talk to him.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can
Alrighty.
always use advertising.
Yeah, good. Okay, appreciate the
very
call.
much.
Thank
Good
you. Thank
yeah,
you.
good
All right.
information.
Okay. Bye bye.
Have fun in that cabin.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a blast. I'm gonna go out there right now.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
I'm gonna get the fire going, and I'll listen to the rest of the show.
You got
Sounds
it. Enjoy
good.
it. Talk to you later.
Enjoy.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and then that we got to take a break. 1 hour down, 2 to go, and we got a lot more ahead of us. So we'll be back.
And if the elevator tries to break you down,